Different video from what I've been making so far, but I believe if you are a fan of EAFC 24 Mobile or FIFA Mobile or an active member of the community, assuming if there is, or just like listening to people ranting about EA, then maybe stick around. When the Euro 2024 event came, I had really believed that there would be changes that would at least make this game a bit playable. Not to my surprise, there was none. Only a new event with a buttload of new cards that people would care about 1/4 of, and some lackluster changes to the gameplay. The donors of the Euros and the Copa America events, especially that, really pushed me to make this video. And I won't just be talking about how the event is boring. I'll use this as an excuse to say that FC Mobile is really bad. It is the worst that it has ever been, and though it might sound like a clickbaity title, I have my reasons, because with every dumb changes EA makes to the game, I started to be more convinced that EA is not that stupid with their antics, but we all know because they all fucking love money. And so in this video, these are the points that I'll be going through, and let's just get straight into it. Even when the new season started in September, I thought the game was just a mist of boredom, because outside of the boring ass events and rankings, there's nothing much to do, and people have been asking for a re-edition of modes like career mode or kickoff, something else to enjoy outside of the sweatiness of Ultimate Team. But since those game modes don't make Papi EA no money, I guess asking for them to come back is like asking England to win the Euros. It's just not gonna happen, isn't it? And things have been like this for so freaking long. Though there were Champions League and now it's the Euros, you can pick the team and play as them for free. Yeah! Well, can you at least make them a bit harder? Cause I'm playing Legendary difficulty, but it feels like I'm playing beginner. And with that logic, what the hell would it feel like if I play beginner then? And also, the rewards suck regardless of the difficulty. And so it feels like a fucking chore. Yeah, it's easy to do, but it takes so much time. At least in the chore in real life, I'm cleaning my house, but in here, I'm just wasting my time. And to be honest, this has been a problem with the AI in EA games for a while. Like Star Wars Battlefront story mode, it is,
What the fuck? Oh, it's you guys. Come on, get out of here. They didn't even hit me once. I'd like to let you guys know that I picked the hardest difficult. I'd like to remind you guys that I did pick the hardest difficulty.
I mean, so far it's just stupidly easy. Like, the stormtroopers here have got worse aim than in the movies. He hit me! He just stopped. He's stopped moving. We killed him.
At least back in FIFA Mobile 19, playing against the CPU was hard because the scripting was just so obvious and the rage was just out there. But at least it was something. I unironically miss the requirements for each CPU games. Score a hat-trick, score 2 goals with midfielders, 1 goal with defenders. It's a lot, I know, but maybe you can make the rewards worthy of our efforts. Then that'd be something fun, I guess. Now, for every obligated game with the CPU, it just feels like a boring chore. If I was to ever have a friend that hasn't played any football game, I'd rather recommend eFootball than this stink. Yeah, that game is dumb, but at least it's dumb fun. Just amp up the difficulty, EA. How much glue do you want to drag us through? Cause this shit is slow and boring. Talking about slow and boring. The April update has come to chew bubblegum and kick ass, but there was only ass, no bubblegum. I don't even understand why people are not ranting more about this. They talk about a promo being boring and costly as if it's killing the game, but yet they don't talk about the sluggish and straight up brain dead gameplay as the one holding the fucking knife. Before the April update, the flow of the gameplay was, I wouldn't say it was the best, but at least it was comprehensive and consistent. Mostly consistent. Okay, actually sometimes consistent. Your card has more than 110 speed, then that was already enough to run like Max Verstappen. Dribbling was smooth, solos were slick, and the ball actually sticks to the fucking feet. And then the 2024 April update came, and EA the fucking Lord himself came and promised to improve the responsiveness of the dribbling and the passing, baby. I was hooked, preparing for more fun shit. And then
oh, brother, this guy stinks!
like, what the fuck just happened? Why is he twitching like that? Is Petit harassing Zidane? Like, why is he moving like a 3D printer? The speed of the game isn't just about the acceleration of the player, so don't bring up that buy a faster card argument on me. I believe it should be about the chemistry, how players move around to support the ones with your input, how quick players react, how fast the decision making is. I don't mind the game being too fast, I just think it makes it more fun and the sweatiness actually makes sense. But now my Ave Maria dribbling feels like David Datro Fofana when the script hates me. And the reason I think of why the game now feels slower is because of the addition of animations. This has happened for a while now for all of the EA Sports games, and people are mad about this obviously. But with the reputation for cupping their ears when people complain, they decided to bring this crap to their mobile game too. And look at where we are now. Every game feels like it's taking place on fucking quicksand. And the movement feels even worse when the players entered a packed situation. Space occupied by so many players, and it leads to their responsiveness just getting fucking removed. And that is so annoying and so unfair, especially if your opponent's entire defense is 2 packed buses. In summary of this, movements just feels worse after the update. Cards have to achieve an overwhelmingly high rating on their speed and dribbling in order to be as half as good as it was a few months back. And of course, I cannot forget about versus attack. For me, this game mode has been heavily affected by these changes. Even from the very start of the season, I just feel like versus attack is just so much worse. I really believe that versus attack only fits with the most unrealistic but concise gameplay, not realism. Now, it takes a lot more time just to move or pass, and the slow and sluggish gameplay just makes this game so tedious. If you want a basic analysis on how versus attack on FC Mobile was, then I suggest watching this video of mine. I'll put the link in the descriptions. What you can take away from this video is that versus attack was all about concise, quick movements and choices, rather than sluggish realism. It's supposed to be a game mode where it's like a 3rd grade quick math exercise, rather than a long ass equation to solve like it is now. No sir, I don't think playing versus attack after losing 10 head-to-head games is a good idea. It's just mentally damaging. Don't do that for the sake of getting some maidens. If the movement is slow and sluggish, then the defending in this game is just weird, bro. People complain about how manual control defending is dog shit, and so EA heard that and said, you know what, I'll add a non-controllable AI to help you defend, and the result is this, and it's even more dog shit. This shit didn't exist a few months back. Defenders started tackling without your input. It starts to beg the question, does defending need any player input nowadays? Is the player you're facing who's defending with 10 layers of buses actually doing the defending, or is it just EA blessing them for spending money on this fire bin? Well, I believe the right and fair answer is still yes. You would still need to have input in the defense to actually make it effective. Though I'd say for half the time it's fine, but it is still unfair. This is how to actually defend in FC Mobile now. In a one-on-one situation, you will not pick the player that is facing directly at the opponent. Instead, you choose the one around, either on the left, right, or behind, as if you're the second defender. The defender without your input will then be put in a marking stance, and maybe can tackle. I'm saying maybe because this is where it gets tricky. If the opponent is quick enough to do a skill, let's say lane change, then you're dead. The defender will get their ankles twisted. It's supposed to be the player with your input that should have all of the defending abilities, but even then, the defenders never seem to mark the ball, and it would lead to them accidentally running into anything but the ball. And again, the responsiveness is dog shit. So if you let yourself into the situation, your player is already anchored there. They will very slowly make it back on track, but then the ball is already in the fucking net. What the fuck? It doesn't stop there, because when it gets on its dark side, the AI defending would sometimes reach a point of being unhinged, when your own player uncontrollably sabotages your entire defense, like the script is purposely trying to make you lose. The second defender is just dumb. They always take the dumbest route just to get to the opponent, and even then, it's like my defenders are aiming for the opponent instead of the ball. In fact, why do you want to hurt people so much?
You are made of stupid.
And of course, I can't forget this shit, where the ball always bounces back to the opponents. How the fuck are you supposed to defend against this? And again, these redundant animations happening with no fucking input whatsoever just grinds my gear to a halt. It's like playing a co-op game with a friend who doesn't know how to play. That's just how it feels like, man. Your input matters less now, because when the death note is scripted, the game would just be frustrating and exhausting to play. I'm gonna go through this one real quick. Rather than making it easier to defend, EA nerfed crossing headers by making the strikers more weak and stupid. How many times have your strikers run into a good position, jump up, and only to fail to header because their strength is fucking deleted? This limits the usability of cards without 4 or 5 star skills. Before the April update, the positioning of cards below 4 stars was something you could at least be excited about. Harry Kane, Ousmane, Lukaku, Vlahovic, Morata, Dennis Undav, Fulkrug, Dovbek, Ole Watkins, Marco van Basten, fucking Mitrovic. These are cards with only 3 stars, but what makes them special? Their positioning and strength. And now only a few players like Haaland remains effective. You know, I know EA has a soft spot for Haaland, but they gotta understand what fairness is, right? It's not like they're gonna give Haaland a 4-star card. Man, fuck you. Hey guys, it's me again. A few minutes back, I did say that this game was sometimes inconsistent. And what I mean by that is that for a week or something, the game would just feel responsive, at least. You know, the fast-paced gaming, you could at least feel it. Fast players would actually feel fast, and the defending would be fine. But then after the April update, it's like a different game every day. The game flow would just fluctuate a lot, and it would lead to a situation where it's something like in the morning you play the game, it would feel fine, you know, the pace is there, the responsiveness is there. But then at night, the game would just feel dog shit. Despite the Wi-Fi, it's all green, normal. The game would just be really bad. Your players just don't have any responsiveness whatsoever. And you might ask, what does inconsistent gameplay looks like? Well, it's fucking torture. Like, why can't my team have comprehension between the players? Like, just passing normally in this game seems like the most difficult task because they never fucking connect. Can the ball just go to the player's feet instead of rolling to somewhere else randomly? Why do you want to become eFootball so much? Oh wait, I'm sorry to say that. That's just unfair. At least in eFootball, the ball will usually target your teammate. Like, obviously. But here in FC, it seems like EA really pushes the player to make more errors. And that's really dumb. Also not relating much to randomness, but why can't the player chase to catch the ball instead of standing still like a fucking moron? They will obviously get tackled, no shit. Also, this game fucking loves nutmegs. It happens so commonly that it's actually stupid now. It's a pretty normal thing in real life, I know, but in this game, it's a lot more fucking stupid. Why the fuck is my defender always spreading his leg to a degree that the gap is just so perfect for the ball to go through their balls to ball where the ball needs to ball? How the fuck can you defend anymore, knowing about EA's animation developers' fetishes? And again, I know nutmegs happen in real life, but this is a game, but when it happens on a ubiquitous degree, it's unfair. These brainless EA developers thought that by adding more realism to the game would make it better, but they couldn't be bothered to just check and know that their game is a clusterfuck right now. I have to wonder if the developers themselves even play the game, because any rational, careful developer would not want to change the game to this state. Also, I've been playing this game a lot, and I'd like to recommend something for new players. Just don't play this game at midnight, because like Five Nights at Freddy's, it gets quirky at night. If you don't believe in scripting, then you're an idiot. You know how wrestling is fake? Well, scripting is pretty fucking real. If it's not obvious before, then it is too apparent now. I could no longer enjoy a game without feeling like EA is staring right at my soul and telling me to
kill yourself now!
I mean, look at this example. The proof is clearer than day. And And that basically sums up scripting DDA in a nutshell. Like I said in the randomness section, nothing in this game is consistent. Not even a fucking pass. It is either too ungodly good or just too monkey-like stupid. Or for times when the script is desperate, a thoughtless move would become a masterpiece, but for any careful moves would then be disrupted. So any good thing that happens just doesn't feel earned, and for the dumb shit, it's just pure frustration. There's no such thing as a skill gap in this game. There's only a fucking pay gap or a luck gap. I cannot imagine how a free-to-play can even survive in this game now, really. Knowing that the game will go against you if you don't spend your sweet dollars on a bunch of retards shoving your sanity right up their ass. And if it's not obvious that I've been hinting so much, the refereeing in this game is fucking abysmal. Would you believe me that the refereeing was actually consistent before April? You did some physical contact on the opponent, the ball wasn't touched, it's a foul. And I know there are nuances in real life and shit, but for a mobile game, I expect some sort of consistency, not realism.
I've fallen!
We're not fucking stupid, we know a foul when we see one, EA. I came across a comment on the App Store about FC Mobile, where the commenter criticized the game for being written by people who don't know football at all. And this comment was just a month or two ago, at least from the point I'm making this video. Honestly, I could not agree more. Because after the April update, you can wrestle down your opponent, and it's not even a fucking penalty. These are fouls clearer than day. And then this one is? What the fuck? Before, some people complain about how the referee blew the whistle every time anything happened. Well, now it is chaos happening, and the ref is just fucking chilling. My god, what is it about English football that made these developers so horny? First, it was the automatic bus defending, and then now it is the brain-dead referees. Heck, they can't even get the offside rule right sometimes. I mean, you can't get more real than that. I swear to god, who the fuck is playing this game anymore? Is Jude Bellingham playing this game? Cause if that's the case, then shut the fuck up and win some Euros, Jude! Also, there's this shit, where you can do this as if it's like a script checking method. It's really strange to me that this meta have only existed since this season. I have never dealt with this shit in any of the past seasons, at least that's my experience. But oh my god, how the fuck are you supposed to deal with this shit? The defending is already trash, the goalkeeping is dumb as fuck, and so the only thing here you can hope for is just the opponents to fuck it up, or obviously luck. The passer is even using their less preferred foot to do this. Wait. How? So you're telling me that crossing with your less preferred foot would fly like this, but a long pass with your foot, okay, I don't know anymore. And also, by the way, low cross is meta now, and it is the ultimate script weapon. This type of passing is fast, and it is really unpredictable. Usually a low cross can be easily tackled automatically, by the way, and you'll need like no input to defend it, but when the script says the opposite, this is what you'll get. This is a type of goal that is sponsored by EA themselves. In a nutshell, scripting is very real and it is probably a part of the game at this point. Scripting will often distract the players from the fact that when they're winning, the opponent is having the worst time of their life, just so your R9 can score a ricochet, or the defenders just happen to spread their legs like they haven't had sex for a while. Meanwhile, when the jokes is on you, it would ruin your day and fuck your mental health, and potentially force you to spend more money on buying inflated price cards. And to add more salt to the wound, the duration of a head-to-head game just doesn't help at all. If you get conceded at the 70th minute, then the game's pretty much gone at this point. And since the game speed is always a mess, you don't really have time to get more goals or have a comeback, so it's pretty common to have like 1-0 wins or losses. And also, I must not forget, people do this. Haha, where's the countermeasure when you need one, EA? What's with you? And just a little game theory of mine, but usually when you have more possession, the script would likely prefer your team better. So if you're an asshole, a proud one, then EA will reward that. In layman's terms, it never feels fair. Hey everyone, if you are a subscriber of this channel, then it's been a while since my last video. I had to admit that this video should have existed a lot sooner, but I had to delay this video quite a lot because I have so much stuff going on in my life right now. But I really pushed myself to finish it just to get my message out there, if anyone just happens to listen to it. I know that people have called out FIFA and FC games out for their dogshit changes, but surprisingly very little for the mobile version. And usually the ones that do will put scant effort into dissecting the game. I mean, I get why, it's a mobile game bro, who cares? But I mean, a product is still a product. If it's shit, why would you not want to point that out? But anyway, part 1 is mainly about gameplay and part 2 will be about the things surrounding the game, and it will be more important to prove that the game is dead. So share, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and to look out for part 2. Thanks for watching and bye bye.